And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Sunday for baseball here at Jimmy John's Field. Today, the Utica Unicorns will take on the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers in another cross-conference matchup. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the USPBL YouTube channel. My name is Leo Ortel, and I'll be joined in a minute by my broadcast partner, Rich Borland, to bring you the call on this Superheroes Day at Jimmy John's Field. If you missed last night's game, it was the Westside Woolly Mammoths taking on the Beavers in a Western Conference showdown. It was the Mammoths who won their fifth straight game thanks to a three-run homer from Will Johnson, who also had a three-hit day, and also a three-hit day from Sonny Cortez, and a quality start from Will Neely in his second career USPBL outing. The Beavers, who have now lost two in a row, play in back-to-back games today, and Chris Newell gives the nod to his reliable left-hander, Gerry Salsbury. Salisbury will make his league-leading seventh start and will look to continue his success as he has already posted this season a 2.65 ERA in 34 innings of work while striking out 30 and walking just 11 batters. After only 5 hits last night for the Beavers offensively, they will look for guys like Adon Ordonez, Jack Haranek, Justin Kelly, and Ross Haffey to produce at the top part of their lineup. Utica, on the other end, enters the game losing 3 of their last 4 and will send Ty Hensley to the bump. The former first-round draft pick of the Yankees has dealt with countless injuries throughout his career and is looking to get back into affiliated baseball. Opponents are hitting just .192 against him this season, but his ERA currently sits at 7.07. And now, to dive a little bit more into those starting pitching matchups, here's Rich.
Appreciate it, Leo. Yeah, a couple of guys with sort of different statistics going into this one. Hensley obviously joining us a little bit later, but an incredible story, like you mentioned, that first-round draft pick from the New York Yankees. Down the road, way back, but trying to make his way into professional baseball once again after dealing with injury after injury, multiple Tommy John surgeries, and then some. But he's here now in Utica, trying to make his way back to MLB, and he'll go up against a guy in Gerry Salsbury who's been adequate this year, a great ERA, 5th overall with the 2.65 with that 2-2 record. You mentioned there, Leo, he's going to make his league-leading 7th start on the season today, 2nd in the league in innings pitched with 34. In total, he's allowed the 34 hits, but only 5 of them have been for extra bases, and they've all been doubles, so no triples or home runs allowed from Salsbury on the year. And then he's also 3rd in strikeouts with 30, while hitters are batting .254 against him. Against the Unicorns this year, Salsbury's got 3 games under his belt, 2 of them for starts, as he's got 13 innings pitched against the boys in purple. He's allowed 4 earned runs on 13 hits. He's allowed 6 walks, but has struck out 10 in those 3 games. And then on the other end of it for Ty Hensley, he's only pitched in 5 games, and 3 of them have been against Birmingham Bloomfield. He does have 2 starts this year, but none of them have been against Chris Newell's team, as he's got 3 games in relief against the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. He's got 7 innings pitched. He allowed just 1 earned run on 3 hits. He has just 3 walks to 13 strikeouts against Birmingham Bloomfield this year, which is a good sign. And out of the 3 hits he has allowed, 1 has been a home run and 1 has been a double. So he'll look to try and keep the extra base hits to a minimum today to improve on his season totals, as you mentioned, Leo, that 7.07 ERA through the 5 games. In total, between these 2 guys, Gerry Salsbury, he throws strikes about 65% of the time, while Hensley throws it just about 57% of the time. Salsbury's thrown a first pitch strike 62% of the time. And listen to this, on full counts, batters hitting just 125 against him with 20 strikes and 3 balls in the 3-2 count when it matters most. But we're rounding down the lineup on Birmingham Bloomfield. Quickly for Utica, it'll be Guzman, Bonicki, as Latona, Elliott, Donovan Smith batting 5th, Colin Rideout batting in the 6th spot, Joe Campana batting 7th, Coley Curry 8th, and Josh Goulet, a newcomer, as he'll be batting 9th as the DH. On the other end of it, for Birmingham Bloomfield, we have Adon Ordonez, the man who had a tremendous night early on this week, where he went 4 for 4 with a home run, as well as a couple of singles, a walk as well. Jack Haranek in right field today, something we haven't seen at all this year. He's batting 2nd. Justin Kelly is in left field batting 3rd. Ross Haffey, the man who's got the 3rd best batting average in the league at .343, he's batting 4th. Austin Farr, one of the new faces for Chris Newell's team, he's in the DH slot today batting 5th. Adam Gauthier, the man who's got the most RBIs in the league and tied for first with home runs, He's batting 6th. TJ Ward, the man at the hot corner tonight, he was batting 7th. Alec Olin, who's quietly hitting very well this year, he's in center field, batting 8th. And then rounding out the Birmingham Bloomfield lineup for today, another new face. That's Justin Wiley. You'll learn more about him. Last night he was 0 for 2 with a walk, but did score a run. One of just the 2 for Birmingham Bloomfield in that game, so they're hoping to see more runs come in from Wiley, who does have some speed to his game. But those are your 18 names. It looks like we're just about ready for the national anthem, and then when we come back, we'll dive into the overall matchup, talk to you about how these teams are doing, and then we'll get ready for today's game. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel.
Please rise, remove your hats. Veterans and active military may keep your hats on while rendering the hand salute as we honor America and our military with a singing of our national anthem sponsored by the Detroit Medical Center DMC and performed today by Angela Veal.
By the dawn's early light, proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the paradise fight. For the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Great job. Let's give her a hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The anthem, all said and done. That means baseball is on tap. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel, want to welcome you back into the booth. It'll be the 12-7 first place Utica Unicorns taking on the 8-9 third place Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. Unicorns started the season off 6-1. In their last 10, they're 5-5. In their last 5, they're 1-4. Polar opposite for Birmingham Bloomfield, as they started off the season fairly slow, but they are 5-1 in their last 6 as we get ready for baseball here on this Sunday matinee contest. As Gerry Salsbury, the left-hander, making his league-leading 7th start on the season. Salsbury offers a lot of pitches. He's got a 2-seam fastball, a 4-seam fastball, a curveball, changeup, slider. As he said that he's tossing a lot more of the 2-seam compared to the 4-seam in the later starts. He's got a curveball he throws about 13% of the time, a changeup he'll bring in there about 10% of the time, and then a slider that he'll mix in on occasion. Overall for Salsbury, the 2.65 ERA, good for 5th overall in the league. We'll see how he fares against the Utica lineup, who's got a lot of talent, just as of late has not really been able to put it together.
Yeah, really, it should be an interesting matchup, and kind of going back to the starting pitching matchup, it's two guys that really rely heavily on their fastballs. As I was taking a look at the strikeout charts, Ty Hensley enters this ballgame with 19 strikeouts, 12 of them are on his fastball, and then Salsbury on the other end of it, his 30 strikeouts, 21 of them coming off of his fastball. So it's going to be interesting to see, as both of these starting pitchers have been seen multiple times by these teams. Ty Hensley has thrown 3 relief outings this year of his 5 total appearances. He has 2 starts, but Hensley has already faced the Beavers 3 times, all of them in relief. And then Salsbury has faced Utica 3 times, 2 starts, and once in relief. And as I was talking to Chris Newell, he recognized, there's a lot better hitters that have joined the league since that college senior showcase. And the starting pitchers are going to have to start mixing it up a little bit more if they're going to keep up their consistency. Obviously, Salsbury has been one of the best starting pitchers in the league so far. On the other end of it, Hensley has definitely struggled. He comes into the game with just the .192 batting average against, but has that 7.07 ERA. But both teams kind of looking to turn it around, coming off some tough losses lately, and they've got the lineups to produce offensively, so we should be in for a good one.
All right, so we are just about ready for first pitch here on this Sunday Fun Day, Superhero Day at the park. Of course, if you can see there on the camera, not sure how well you can, but the Beavers supporting their Superman specialty jerseys. We'll talk about those a little bit more as the game goes on, where you can actually bid on these jerseys like you had back on Lego Day when it was the Eastside Diamond Hoppers who had the first specialty jersey of the season. But more than just a specialty jersey, as some of the proceeds, of course, going to charity, as Guzman stands in for Utica to start the day. Couldn't ask for much better weather than this here in Utica this weekend. We've been fortunate compared to what we've seen so far throughout the season. First pitch, 1:04 p.m. It is 76 degrees and not a cloud in the sky here at Jimmy John's Field as we welcome you into the game. Salsbury starts off Guzman with a ball on the outside and then right back about the same spot, but gets enough of the plate there. Home plate umpire Rob Lothian calls it strike one to even it up. He's at home. Scott Wolendowski, our first base umpire, down the right field line at the moment. The 1-1 to Guzman. Good pitch in on the hands at 87. Justin Wiley in just his second start with the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers getting the early action. Gets that ground ball with the backhand and retires Guzman, which has not been easy as of late. Guzman, he's batting .309 on the season. That's good for 6th overall. Was 2 for 5 in the game on Wednesday with a double and a single. But overall, Adrian Guzman, he's been a catalyst at the top of this lineup. And 0 for 1 here to start the day. That's a good start there for the left-hander Salsbury as he goes up against Bonneke, the second baseman batting from the left side. Pitch in the dirt, away, misses. It's 1-0.
Yeah, kind of surprising to still see Bonneke in this 2 spot, especially in this lefty-on-lefty matchup. Bonneke hitting just 176, hasn't really done a ton for the Utica Unicorns, but it seems like Jim Essien likes him as that situational hitter because with Adrian Guzman's ability to get on base, Kyle Bonneke is definitely a guy that's able to, advance the runner over if he needs, drop down a bunt. So maybe he's kind of used in that role.
And one thing I noticed looking at some of the stats earlier before the game there, Leo, as well as our listeners, Kyle Bonneke has the best contact percentage in all the league. He's got contact on these at-bats 90% of the time. Just not getting the results necessarily, right. So a little bit of unluckiness there for the Waterbury, Connecticut native as he doesn't make contact here. Goes down in the books with the swing and the miss. 2 up and 2 down for Salsbury to start the afternoon for him. As quickly the defensive scheme for Birmingham Bloomfield. Justin Kelly in left, Alec Oland in center, Jack Haranek getting the nod in the outfield today. TJ Ward at the hot corner, Ordonez and Wiley up the middle, and then Ross Haffey over there at first. As, of course, it's Adam Gauthier who's behind the dish as a part of the battery for the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers alongside Salsbury. You see Latona batting in here now, second in slugging on the season, tied for first in home runs, and got to imagine that's a pretty good reason why he saw a breaking ball to start the at-bat for a called strike. As Salsbury battles back in there with a fastball on the 0-1. Latona flies out to center for the third out, and ground out, strikeout, and a fly out. Retire Utica in the first. We head to the home half. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. To the bottom of the first we go. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you. Ty Hensley getting his third start of the season here this afternoon. The former first-round draft pick from the New York Yankees as he gets things going for Utica today. He'll offer three different fastballs, the four-seam, the cutter, the two-seam. Throws the four-seam over 50% of the time. We'll see if he tries to mix it up, like you said, Leo, with a lot better hitting in the league now after the college senior showcase. But the four-seam, the cutter, the two-seam, the curveball, the changeup is what the big fella has to offer as he's going to face off against Adán Ordóñez. To get things going today, Ordóñez has been on a tear as of late as he's batting just below 300 at the moment. Was 0 for 3 last night against Westside with a strikeout, 2 groundouts, and a sac fly. That drove in one of their 2 runs, and you see Hensley starting off missing 2 upstairs out of the zone, and that's the last thing you want to do against a guy like Adán Ordóñez who doesn't have much height to his game.
Yeah, I was talking to Adán before the game. He's really turned around his season. Was kind of hitting in that 7, 8, 9 spot earlier, and finally got moved up into that leadoff spot yesterday. And he's a guy that's gotten on base the whole year, but he's really picked it up with the bat. Comes in hitting .295 with a home run and 8 RBIs. Went to North Carolina A&T University, and he was kind of talking about those experiences and also kind of growing up in Florida, where obviously a lot of talent comes out of Florida because they play year-round. And Adán was definitely thankful to be able to play baseball all year round and finally reach the high level here with the USPBL.
It does make a difference, as we do have a couple of players from Michigan, but definitely a lot from Florida, California, Texas, you name it. As good sign here from Hensley, battles back in this at-bat against Ordóñez, starts him off 3-0, comes back with 2 straight strikes. Ordóñez trying to at least make some contact here. I mentioned how Bonneke, the best contact percentage in the league. Ordóñez is right behind him in second at .890. As this one flared to the right side, it gets out of play. Good battle thus far here from Ordóñez.
And you have to like what you're seeing from Hensley. Started him off 3-0, obviously not where he wanted him. We were watching him in warm-ups. His control didn't look to be where he wanted it, but hopefully he is making the adjustment. So Hensley battling as well as Ordóñez. We'll see who wins the battle.
As this will go in favor of Ordóñez, reaches on the walk on 7 pitches, most importantly. Not only do you get your result, but you forced your opposition to work a little bit harder. As Hranek coming up to the plate, your beer batter of the game, ladies and gentlemen. So for those listening down in the bathrooms or up in the suites, Jack Hranek gets a hit in any of his first 3 at-bats. Zatunya Craft Beer Garden will have $5 craft beers for the remaining inning as Hranek tries to get the first knock of the day for either team. First pitch, called strike right down Broadway at 94. We'll see what Hensley can do in terms of his velocity, as, of course, being that first-round draft pick. He was in the high 90s when he was healthy, but with the injuries down the road, the 2 Tommy John surgeries, he's been sitting high 80s, low 90s, but touching 94 on that second-to-last pitch on the first one to Hranek, a good sign there as the 87-mile-an-hour one misses away as Hranek works the count 1-1. Hranek did not bat in the game last night, so he's fresh as he's tied for 7th in the league with 10 RBIs, tied for 9th with 18 hits, but he does have the most doubles, which is a good sign for the big fella. Loves to find the gaps. As speaking of those, we'll talk about the outfield for Utica. Coley Curry in left, Dan Elliott in center, Donovan Smith in right, Campana at the hot corner, Guzman at short, Bonneke at second, Rideout at first, and then Latona, the man tied with the most home runs with the opposing catcher Goth here behind the dish with Hensley on the bump. 2-1 at 93 this time. Hranek with a good healthy cut, just couldn't make contact.
And Hensley is one of the hard throwers in this league. Chris Newell recognized it as I talked to him before the game, so they were definitely expecting him to throw hard. And really, it's been walks that have haunted Hensley this season. He's walked 10 batters over 14 innings, so if he can control it, he can be effective, as you saw before that last breaking ball missed in the dirt. Hranek just could not catch up to 93, so it's all about location for Hensley. He's got to be able to locate his pitches where he wants them to be, but back-to-back full counts here against Ordóñez and now Hranek.
Yeah, got to be careful. The one positive note about Hensley in full counts this year, he's got 13 strikes to just 5 balls, so he's got 5 walks in full counts, but batters are 0 for 9 against him. Make it 0 for 10. Will we see a strike him out, throw him out? Yes, we will. Great start here for the Unicorns defensively, even though Hensley had not really been on, if you will, but a big strike him out, throw him out, and a tough one for the Beavers here as they were looking to have their first 2 men on, but instead 0 for 2.
And you kind of got to question that approach there with Hensley already just not throwing the pitches where he wants them to be and going for the hit and run on a fastball that definitely would have been ball 4 way above that strike zone, but could have paid off, could have gone either way, but it doesn't pay off here for the Beavers.
Maybe a hit and run action, so he was
right.
kind of forced to swing the bat.
Exactly.
You never know in this game, but at the same time, you can kind of see it from his vantage point where he's looking to hit. He's not looking to walk, but in the end, Hranek does go down via the swing and the miss. As you see Hensley trying to dial in, missed the first one against Kelly, but gets called strike 1 on the second pitch. Kelly in the game last night against Westside, 1 for 4 with an RBI single, and had 3 different kind of putouts, a ground out, a fly out, and a line out. Kelly, of course, the Wayne State product, trying to make a name for himself. I remember when he was trying to join in as a part of the College Senior Showcase, he wasn't sure if he was going to join the USPBL as he was looking to get drafted. But unfortunately for him, he didn't, but fortunate enough, he had a good backup plan here to hopefully get back to where he wants to go.
Yeah, and Kelly actually took hitting lessons with Chris Newell, the Beavers manager, so he kind of had that connection there, but Kelly's really proved himself so far in the league as he enters this ball game hitting 545 as he hit 339 during his senior year at Wayne State with 11 home runs, and Kelly's already shown off his power. He's already got 1 home run and 8 RBIs, 7 for 15 to start off his USPBL career.
3 straight full counts for Ty Hensley here in this first. Can he get a 1-2-3 inning? A chopper over to the right side. Right out the first baseman taking charge. Hensley doing his due diligence. Covers the bag. Gets the 1-2-3 unconventional outing. There in the first after the leadoff walk to Ordonez. The strike him out, throw him out, and the ground out. Get him out of it. We're scoreless through 1. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We cruise into the second inning here at Jimmy John's Field on this Sunday fun day. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you. Just 9 pitches for Salsbury in the first frame. He got a ground out, a strikeout, and a flyout to retire Guzman, Bonneke, and Latona. Not an easy slate as he starts off Dan Elliott with a strike, swung on and missed, and same story here. At 88 miles an hour, Salsbury's looking like he's sharp, and he's on today. We'll see how long the success can continue on for him as the 0-2 comes, ready for the fastball up and away, but nowhere close. Easy eye there from Elliott.
And Salisbury's go-to pitch is that fastball, 3 straight. Maybe he'll go back to the off-speed here, but always got to be hunting fastball. Sometimes it's hard to look for that off-speed pitch against Salisbury just because of how much he uses that fastball.
Sort of a scenario where you have to always expect the fastball and then react late to the off-speed stuff, because if you're expecting an off-speed pitch, you're not going to catch up to it, and that's the beauty of Salisbury's game. He can mix in that curveball when he wants, and he gets his second strikeout of the day via the swing and the miss, courtesy of Dan Elliott. Donovan Smith coming up to the plate.
And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, Salisbury entered the game with 30 strikeouts, and 21 of them came on fastballs, but we've already seen one here from a breaking ball. I would like to see Salisbury use that pitch a little bit more, but he has had great success this season and has faced off against the Utica Unicorns now 4 times. 1 in relief in his last outing, which was back on the 15th, which was not only his last outing of the season, but also last against the Unicorns. 6 innings, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, so it was definitely a good outing for him. As Donovan Smith fouls off the 1-0 pitch.
Count even at 1-1 now. Smith on Wednesday, 1 for 4 with a single, a run, but did strike out twice in the battle. But overall, Salisbury on the season against the Corns, mentioned it in the pregame show, 4 earned runs on 13 hits in 13 innings in his 2 starts and 1 relief appearance so far this season against Utica, as he gets Smith to chase after something a little bit high. Could have went either way, but he couldn't catch up to it. It's 1-2. So far, Salisbury with 2 strikeouts on the day, 1 via the fastball on Bonneke, 1 via the curve on Elliott. Let's see what he goes to on the 1-2 here. Breaking ball, Smith holds back enough as Gauthier pleads no contest and gets a new baseball there from our home plate umpire, Lothian.
Definitely a good try. And also, great job by Smith to hold up. Definitely a tough pitch to take, especially when you could be looking fastball.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed at 88. That one up and away. But again, Salisbury doing a good job to keep it right around that strike zone area as he gets Smith to chase after a pitch that would not have made good contact on if he did. Salisbury is honestly looking the best he has all year thus far, and that's talking about a guy who's got a 2.65 ERA through 6 starts and 2 wins under his belt, as he'll have to deal with Rideout trying to strike out the side.
And because he uses that fastball, it doesn't have a lot of velocity. He relies on his control. Last year in the USPBL, he had 58 strikeouts to 12 walks, a great ratio.
As this first pitch swinging from Rideout flares into center. Underneath it is Oland as he tracks to his right. 1 pitch and 1 out as Salisbury looking sharp with 3 Ks through 2. We head to the home half of the second. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the home half of the second. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you here on this Superhero Day. Sunday Fun Day at the ballpark. Full house here on this Sunday as Hensley out here for a second inning of work. Starts off Haffey with a ball, and then on the 1-0, Ross takes it into the netting, 1-1. Haffey on the season, he's got the third best batting average, sitting at .343 coming into play today. Third in on-base percentage at .477, but he's got the best slugging percentage at .629. And how about this? A league-leading OPS of 1.106. Haffey has been a household name since he came to join Chris Newell's team as he looks at the 2-1, misses upstairs.
Yeah, and as I was talking to Haffey at the media desk, he kind of just talked about his approach, keeps it pretty simple, and he really has had a lot of success for the Beavers so far this year, and Chris Newell is definitely happy to have his bat in the lineup.
Big fly to right field. Donovan Smith looks like he's got a beat on it, takes a few steps in, makes the one-handed catch for out number one. And after the leadoff walk to Ordonez, 3 straight for Hensley, as he'll now deal with Austin Farr, the designated hitter. At the moment, Farr in the game last night, batted second, went 1 for 4 with a single, an RBI ground out. A ground out with no RBI and a strikeout. So the lefty standing in, trying to give the Beavers hit number 1 on the day. Won't do it on this one. 94 from Hensley. See if he gets to 95. We've seen 94 a couple of times.
Yep.
Farr with a good eye, though, to start. As Hensley, the 1-0. There it is. 93 this time, right down Broadway, swung on and missed. Farr even at 1-1. And taking a quick look through the lineup, have seen 3 full counts in the first inning, a 2-1 count to Haffey. Farr, the 1-1, fouls it off at 87, so Hensley took a little bit off of that one. Maybe it was the cutter.
Yep.
As I mentioned, he's got both the 4-seam, the 2-seam, the cutter as well, but then he also brings in the changeup and the curveball on occasion. Not a bad idea to maybe do it here against the newcomer in Austin Farr. Hensley, the windup, the pitch. 92 away, brings the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, the velocity is definitely there. You see him missing outside. He's trying to hit that outside corner, and if you can hit that outside corner with that kind of a velocity, hitters cannot touch that.
The 2-2. Swung on and missed again at 94. Hensley's looking just about as sharp as Salsbury. Just needs to bring that pitch count down so he can last longer in this one, as Gauthier standing in. Won't be an easy out.
Gauthier, who comes into the game with the .295 batting average, which is one of the tops on the team, but also enters with a league-leading 4 home runs and 16 RBIs. He's really produced well for Birmingham Bloomfield.
First pitch to Gauthier at 92, misses upstairs. Gauthier, most RBIs in the league with 16, tied for 9th with 18 hits. 5th best on base percentage, a top 10 batting average. He's also got 2 stolen bases to his credit, a guy who can pretty much do it all. As the ground ball hit hard to the left side, Adrian Guzman with the quick pickup, the quick release, and right out. Over there with the scoop, retires Birmingham Bloomfield here in the second. A little flare at the end of it, a little scare, but Utica gets out of it perfectly. We head to the third. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We are through 2 scoreless here at the ballpark. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you. 7-8-9 due up for Utica, Campagna, Curry, and Goulet. As Campagna quickly already, and this is the story of the afternoon, Salsbury is on. Just 20 pitches through 2 innings, 15 for strikes. He's got 3 strikeouts against the first 6 batters, as well as a ground out and a pair of flyouts to center field. As Joe Campagna in there on the 0-2 looks at the first ball of the at-bat. He was 1 for 1 in the game on Wednesday as he hits a slow ground ball. It's going to be a race to the bag. You see Salsbury moving over there as quick as possible as the first base umpire says that he missed the bag. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't think so. It looked like he caught the corner of the bag, and maybe the infield umpire is going to talk to the home plate umpire, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like maybe Chris Newell was looking for some confirmation as he came out of the dugout there, but it definitely looked like he touched the bag. He at least beat him, but the infield umpire, Scott Wolendowski, definitely has a better view down on the field level, so I guess that's got to go as the first hit. No official ruling on the scoreboard, but might have to be an infield single. A very tough play that Salsbury almost made.
Still no ruling just yet, and understand why it hasn't been made yet. That was kind of a weird play as this one's popped up well up in the air as TJ Ward's trying to shade that sun. It's not easy to do today as Coley Curry is retired on the first pitch that he sees this afternoon for out number 1. Still no ruling at the moment for that first call against Campagna. We'll still wait on that as Josh Goulet standing in, a new face here at the USPBL.
Hey, Goulet, the native out of New Hampshire, played at Plymouth State University D3 ball and had quite the senior season for them. A .410 average, 13 home runs, 47 RBIs. He's definitely a 5-tool player type of guy. He is the DH tonight, so not playing any position in the field, but Goulet did have 24 stolen bases his senior year, and get this, only 19 strikeouts. So
wow,
makes contact quite a bit and has power, kind of a rare talent in the sense of that, but 0-2 as he swings through the 0-1 offering.
So they do officially come up with a ruling, and Salsbury apparently is going to get charged with an error. So he, at the moment, still looking sharp through this game as Goulet on the 0-2 looks at a fastball well up and away. Gauthier jumping out of his seat, keeping tabs on Campagna over there at the first base bag. Campagna so far on this season does not have any stolen base drives in just his 4th start of the season. But for Goulet on the 1-2, that one away as well, evens it up now here at 2-2. In the debut for Josh, trying to make a name for himself. No better opportunity than the present. But you said he didn't strike out a lot in college. This is a whole different level. The 2-2 from Salsbury. Ground ball chopped over there toward it. The hot corner as the throw to second. Then the throw to first, keeping Haffey off the bag as the second baseman, Wiley, threw that one a little bit up as Goulet will reach on the fielder's choice, but Campagna is retired via the 5-4 putout for out number 2. We head to the top of the order. Salsbury has made his way through the order for the first time.
And it looked very strong. Only the one base runner with the air. Could have been a 1-2-3 inning, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. We'll see if he can get Guzman the second time around. Guzman grounded out to the second baseman, Wiley, back in the first inning, but had that multi-hit game on Wednesday against the Mammoths. There was only 6 hits on the board for the Unicorns in that game, and Guzman had 2 of them.
Yeah, he was the only batter with a multi-hit game in that contest on Wednesday. Bonneke had 1, Elliott had 1, Smith had 1, Campagna had 1, but that was all she wrote for the lineup that is in the books today. As you see Salsbury going to the outside, looked to be a changeup or possibly a breaking ball that simply didn't break. Either way, misses outside. And with Guzman up at the plate, if you're going to throw a fastball, you want to stick to the regimen that you had to start this at bat and keep it inside, and you see it evident there. TJ Ward looking sharp over there at third base. That's the second consecutive 5-4 putout as Guzman will end it. And we head to the home half of the third, still scoreless. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the bottom of the third. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you. 30 pitches through 2 frames for the former first-round Yankees draft pick Ty Hensley. He'll deal with the bottom of the order, 7, 8, 9, Ward, Olin, Wiley, as one third baseman hits it over to his counterpart, Campagna, over there, as that's the second pitch of the at-bat. Ward looked at the first for ball 1. TJ Ward, 1 for 4 in the game last night with a single. Flew out to left field, and you saw that chopper over there in foul territory. He had 2 groundouts to third last night, so I'd be ready if my name was Campagna. As this one flared into shallow left field over the head of Adrian Guzman, and all of a sudden we've had our first hit of the game today. The leadoff knock there for TJ Ward.
That wasn't really hard contact. I believe that was a broken bat based on the sound of it. But as I was taking a look at Ward's stats, he comes into this game with 6 multi-hit games. All of them were 2 hits in the contest, but kind of interesting. He's got 6 2-hit games and 6 1-hit games, so usually Ward's hits come in packages of 2, so good to see him with the leadoff knock in this inning.
First pitch to Alec Olin. Fastball that missed it indoors just a bit, 92. See the third baseman, Campagna, playing even with that third base bag. Infielders playing up the middle a little bit. And then over there at first, right out covering for Ward. Second pitch, right about the same result. More on a line and hit harder than Ward's, but back-to-back singles for the Beavers give them the biggest threat of the day thus far with runners on first and second and nobody out.
Yeah, and Justin Wiley will be stepping up here. He made his USPBL debut last night, but as we look into Wiley, he comes to us from Chandler, Arizona, played at Arizona University his senior year, hit .341, 5 home runs, 37 RBIs, and also 15 doubles, 3 triples. So definitely has some extra base power and some speed. And Wiley, before that senior year at Arizona, played at San Diego State, so he's been at the D1 level for quite some time.
So we're excited for that, as he's got plenty of credentials to his name. See what he can do in his second try here in a Birmingham Bloomfield uniform. And look at that. Third straight hit into left, rounding third. Had it for home as TJ Ward could have a play at the plate. Is that one sort of blockaded by Ward's body as he was running down the line, forcing Jimmy Latona to not be able to make the catch. That is an RBI single off the bat of Justin Wiley. 3 straight singles for Birmingham Bloomfield. And, of course, Olin getting to third and Wiley getting to second on the ball that ends up getting thrown past Latona. Can't imagine you call that an error, though, with a little bit of the blockade there from Ward. As we go back to the top of the order after 3 straight singles. Tough inning here to start for Hensley.
I love the aggressive approach, too. It's tough to score the runner on second on just a single into left, and Coley's got a pretty good arm out there, but Chris Newell, the third base coach and manager of the Beavers, willing to test it, and it pays off not only with the run, but moving the runners that would have been on first and second up to second and third. And then you've got what Chris Newell calls his most valuable hitter in this lineup, Adon Ordonez, up at the plate.
For the guy who kind of started all the way at the bottom of the lineup in his time, earning the ability to be at the top of this order. Mentioned not the last game, but the game beforehand, Ordonez in the loss for Birmingham Bloomfield ended up with a tremendous day, a grand slam, which of course relates to 4 RBIs, also scored 4 times, had 3 singles and a walk. Incredible stuff there from number 26 as the 0-1 fouled off into the netting, as he's already 0 for 0 on the day with the leadoff walk when he worked the 7-pitch at bat, but then was taken out via the strike him out, throw him out for the second out. But an opportunity here with a couple of Beavers in the dam. On second over there is Wiley. At third is Oland. Ordonez trying to come up clutch and drive in some insurance here after already the 1-0 lead. 0-2 in the dirt at 90. And home plate umpire Lothian asking his partner Scott Wolendowski for confirmations on that check swing. Looks as if Ordonez held back enough.
And for Ty Hensley out there, he hasn't been ahead of a lot of hitters, so it's going to be interesting to see how he approaches the rest of this at-bat against Adon Ordonez.
The 1-2. Into the netting it goes. Ordonez stays alive, and that's a good note there, Leo. Hensley came into this third inning with 30 pitches and only 15 of them for strikes, but he had yet given up a hit before Ward's base knock to start this frame. And the pitching ratio, it's kind of where he's been at all season. Just 57% of the time he's thrown strikes. Same goes for his first pitches against batters, about 50-50 with strikes and balls. The 1-2 to Ordonez, a breaking pitch. Good job from Latona to keep that one in the mitt as the count evens up. Still no outs on the board with the top of the order up at the plate and 2 base runners on. Hensley really has to bear down, try his best to get a strikeout here against Ordonez so nothing gets put in play, because if so, about an 80% chance a run comes in. This one misses upstairs at 93. Good eye from Ordonez. Second consecutive at-bat where he's worked the full count. So no matter what the results are, a really good approach to the plate so far for Ordonez.
That was a 7-pitch battle the first time around. Ordonez ended up winning it. But something over to the right side will definitely score the run if he's trying to put something in play.
The 3-2, 92, swung on and missed. Looked to be ball 4, but Ordonez at the top of this lineup trying to make something happen instead of let it happen. You had the open base at first, so you know if you walked, you wouldn't have driven anything in. And it looks like Jack Haranek will be given the benefit of the doubt with an intentional walk, and that's a good idea. As we mentioned, in the top 10 in hits, leads the league with the most doubles. And Justin Kelly, one of the new faces here at the USPBL, 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to first. They're going to go with the battle against the Wayne State product and try their best to get 2 for 1 to end this threat here in this home half of the third.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I like the call too much. Haranek has kind of been in a slump lately, and he went down swinging on the full count back in the first. And then you send it over to Justin Kelly, who's really had quite the start to his USPBL career. He is 0 for 1 with the ground out to first, but he at least put something in play and was making contact his last at bat. And with only 1 out in the inning, Haranek still has a chance to score, so you could question the approach from Jim Essien, but we'll see if Hensley can escape the jam. It does set up that force-out situation.
Yeah, not sure if Skip knew how Kelly did last night. He only went 1 for 4, but did not strike out at all. The guy who makes contact a lot, as this pitch in the dirt away. A really good job from Latona, as he is a really good catcher behind the plate. I'd have to give the best credit to Lacongo. Overall, he's been a gem behind the dish so far this season, but Latona right there with him, as Gauthier, pretty darn good as well. A really complete player. We're seeing a lot of talent behind the dish so far this season.
Definitely.
As the 1-1, 93 upstairs, swung on and missed. And after seeing that right there, if I'm Hensley, I'm trying to throw that exact same pitch, because Kelly is a guy who hits the ball, in my opinion, in the air more often than on the ground. If you throw a fastball at the top of the zone or just out of it, it'd be a tough chance for him to catch up to it. We'll see what he goes to. The 1-2. Fastball right down Broadway. Kelly frozen on strikes. Second K of the inning. Fourth of the day for Hensley. And boy, what a comeback here in this home half of the third it would be after 3 straight singles to start.
Yeah, really. Ty Hensley just getting it done when he needs to. Kind of a bulldog type of pitcher that keeps grinding. He knows he works his way into a lot of full counts because of his control. But when that fastball is placed correctly, it's definitely deadly, and hitters just can't seem to catch up to it. And obviously Kelly was absolutely fooled as he was caught looking right on that outside corner. He's going to have to deal with Haffey now, another dangerous hitter in this lineup.
Haffey with the top 3 batting average, the best OPS, the best slugging percentage, a very tough out as he had 3 home runs in one weekend a couple of weekends ago, as the 1-0 swung on and missed. Haffey on the day 0 for 1 with a fly out to right field. That was on a 2-1 count. We'll see what he can do here. But the thing about Haffey, he does have a 38% strikeout ratio. So something that Hensley, I was just going to say, he wants to get ahead of Haffey here, and he does so. So at the moment, I'm favoring Hensley in this 1-2 at-bat battle.
I'm not sure what Haffey was looking at right there. Not sure why he wasn't looking fastball in that situation, but it's 2 looks kind of in the last 2 at-bats, that pitches that were definitely hittable, and that's a tough one there. Right on the outside corner, probably could have gone either way. Yeah,
it looked as if Hensley was ready to head to the dugout. He was all about it, but home plate umpire Rob Lothian says that one missed by a fraction, so the count even at 2-2. See what he goes to against Haffey. I'd like something off-speed. Instead, he goes back to the fastball upstairs, and it looks like he's staying with it. That fastball, like I mentioned, thrown 55% of the time in Hensley's 5 outings so far this year. He's got good control of it, at least for the most part today.
And most of his strikeouts come off of fastballs, 12 of 19 coming into this game, and I believe most of them tonight have been on the fastball, and it's usually when it's elevated towards the outside part of the strike zone.
The 2-2 taken for a ride into right center field. This one's going to clear the bases. Coming in to score with ease is Olin. Right behind him is Wiley. Round and third, headed for home, the big fella Haranek, and no throw coming in. Ross Haffey delivers here for the Beavers in the home half of the third. It is 4-0.
And that's why you had to question the approach from Jim Essien. All it took was one swing to clear the bases. Ross Haffey, who was intentionally walked earlier in this inning, comes around to score on the bases clearing double. So one run that probably shouldn't be up on the board. I mean, yeah, Haranek is one of the best hitters in this league and has been around now in his 2nd season, but either way, Beavers getting it done here, 4-0 lead.
The 8th batter of the home half of the third coming up in Austin Farr. He swings and misses at the first opportunity, 0 for 1 with a strikeout so far. Austin Farr with 4 hits and 18 at-bats coming into play today. 2 runs scored, just the 1 double and 2 RBIs as the tailing fastball misses outside. You saw Latona have to slide to the left and keep that one in the area. Good eye from Austin Farr. Mentioned he went 1 for 4, batting in the 2 spot last night against Westside, but dropping down into the 5th spot here today as he swings right through it. Mentioned Austin Farr, the 2018 Coastal Plain Hitter of the Year for the High Point Thomasville High Toms, the team that I was with back in 2017 as their broadcaster. It's a very talented summer league for college players, as I would say it's right with the Cape Cod League, as you have players from the ACC, SEC, I mean all over. as the 1-2 far won't get it done as he flies out to center field for the third and final out. But the Beavers with a 4 spot here in the home half of the third, giving Salsbury some good cushion. We head to the fourth. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We're through 3 here at Jimmy John's Field. If you're just joining us, Birmingham Bloomfield with a 4 spot. They're in the home half of the third. It'll be Bonneke, Latona, and Elliott due up the 2-3-4 hitters. The 0-1 to Bonneke missing inside with the fastball. Salsbury with just 33 pitches through 3 innings of work, 24 of the 33 for strikes with 3 strikeouts aside of it. Bonneke ready for the 1-1, a chopper over to the first baseman, Haffey, who is the hero of the day at the moment on Superhero Sunday with the bases clearing double. That's how they got 3 of their 4 runs in the third, and he's doing it with the defense as well, as Salsbury, who has that error defensively that started off the third inning, same sort of play to start this fourth, but he gets the job done this time around as he learned from his mistake. 1 up, 1 down here to start the fourth.
Yeah, Salsbury has really just been on cruise control, facing over 1 batter over the minimum, so pretty impressive stuff. We're seeing swings and misses as we did right there from Jimmy Latona, and we know that he doesn't have that fastball velocity, but he's got the ability to throw it exactly where he wants it, pinpoint accuracy from the left-hander.
Yeah, Salsbury, as this one, over there to the hot corner. TJ Ward staying busy today, and man, does he look good over there playing the defensive position of third. You saw him charge the ball, run with the throw foot, make the throw on the run, as JJ, the field general, out there doing his duties, getting those bats as our bat dog. JJ working hard day in and day out here at the park, but back to TJ Ward. He has been busy over there at third today as he makes another play for Birmingham Bloomfield. Is standing in now is Dan Elliott. Couple of groundouts back-to-back for Salsbury here in this fourth. Let's see what Elliott can do. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That was on a 1-2 count on a curveball. Mentioned Dan Elliott, a 30% strikeout hitter, as this one stays fair down the right field line. First hit of the day for the Unicorns is Elliott rounding first, headed for second, and he'll stand in with a 2-out double. Nice knock there as it was hit hard down the line as Salsbury's no is out of it here in this fourth. But, man, he was close to it to get through this fourth inning. Never know where we could have went. But a good job by Elliott to get the first knock of the day for Utica.
It's going to be Donovan Smith up with 2 outs, and Smith is a newcomer, went to North Carolina A&T State University, as did the shortstop for the Beavers, Adon Ordonez, but Smith enters the ballgame hitting .333. Did strike out swinging his first time around, one of 3 strikeouts that Salsbury has tallied so far, and interestingly did not have any in the third and doesn't have one this inning, but a good chance to do it here as Smith fouls it off. Count runs to 0-2.
Good job from Salsbury to battle back. Never know how the psyche works after you are cruising through the first couple of innings, and then you do finally give up that hit. Got to imagine for these guys at this level, they don't necessarily think of the whole background stuff compared to how often we do, but it definitely changes how you feel. And look at that, back-to-back base knocks, as coming in with ease to score is Elliott. Smith with ease standing up at second. Back-to-back doubles. I mentioned coming into play tonight, or today I should say, 5 extra base hits on this season out of the 34 that Salsbury has given up, and all of them have been doubles. And the streak continues here today, back-to-back for Elliott and Smith as the Unicorns are on the board.
Hey, you never know what can happen. He retires the first 2 batters of the inning, but some good 2-out hitting for the Unicorns, back-to-back doubles, and Rideout with the chance to drive in another run with Donovan Smith standing on second. He's got some good speed.
Colin Rideout, meanwhile, standing in. He flew out to center field on the first pitch he saw back in the second inning. Guy who I mentioned both Bonneke as well as Ordonez with really good contact numbers. As Rideout's right there with him. He's third in line. He gets contact about 85% of the time. He does not strike out all that often as he's standing in from the left side against the lefty Salsbury. Breaking ball back up the middle right through the wickets as the center fielder Olin's going to pick it up. There might be a play at the plate. A rifle ends up coming in too late. Smith with enough speed comes in to score. Third straight hit for the Corns. Gives them 2 runs as they cut the lead in half.
Hey, Unicorns continuing the 2-out hitting. And Colin Rideout, who really has been one of the most consistent bats in this lineup, came in hitting .284, but not with a lot of RBIs. He had just 3 in the 19 games played, so Rideout has played in and started every game and really hasn't had a whole lot of RBI opportunities, but he picks up his 4th to cut the lead to 2.
So Chris Newell out there to talk with his ace. And they understand that they still have a 2-run lead. The pitch count's still not bad for Salsbury. He's just got to get out of this middle of the order funk. Rideout, Smith, and Elliott have had their successes so far this year, but Campagna, he's still trying to figure things out as he's one of the newcomers here in the league. Batting just .222 coming into play today. This is your guy you want to get with Curry coming up on deck, a guy who's 5th in the league with the contact percentage, as Rideout is trying to take second, but he'll end up having to go back to first base with the contact. Rideout is 1 for 1 on the season on the base paths thus far. Salsbury fortunate as Campana has to force him to go back to first.
And Campagna, who does come in with the low batting average, just finds his way on base. He reached on the air back in the 3rd, and he enters this game .222 average, .533 on base. He'll get on base here with the single.
Another hit for the Corns here in this top of the 4th inning, as count them 4 in a row, 2 doubles and now 2 singles for the 4th through 7 hitters. And now Curry coming up to the plate, not an easy out either. So Salsbury gonna have to bear down here in this home half of the top of the 4th.
Yeah, this is kind of surprising to see this. I mean, Salsbury does come in with pretty good strikeout numbers, but also can pitch to contact. But I would like to see him mix it up more as you see him deal in the first pitch breaking ball. I like that on the first pitch offering.
And you got to really start to mix it up. Otherwise, these guys are going to be looking fastball 100% of the time, and they're going to be hitting on it like they have here in this top of the 4th, as this fastball missing upstairs by just a pinch. Curry on the day, 0 for 1 with that pop out to Ward back in just the last inning. He was 0 for 3 in the game on Wednesday, but did have a walk. Salisbury, with the deep breaths, trying to slow it down a bit here and get back into that groove that he was in before this inning. And there you go, another off-speed pitch, swung on and missed by Lee Curry. And if I'm Salsbury, I'm going to stick with the off-speed stuff here and try and stray from the narrative, get out of this inning with the 2-run lead.
Yeah, put it low enough, put it in the dirt, make him chase after it. You got a few pitches to give right here.
Did not get that one in the dirt, but he does enough to get the grounder over there to Wiley, as Curry is retired for the second time today, but they bat 7 in the fourth with a double, a single, and a single. Back to back to back to back, driving the 2 runs. We head to the home half of the fourth. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the home half of the fourth. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back here with you. Beavers out in front by 2. They put up 4 in the third, but then the Unicorns with 2 back in the top of the fourth. We'll see what Ty Hensley can do, as he'll have to deal with Adam Gauthier, the only batter he did not face in the third. 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to short as he looks at the second pitch of the at-bat. It's 1-1.
Hey, Gauthier now in his second season. Played 26 games for the Beavers last year and had just 2 home runs, but he's already got 4 this year, so doubling the power numbers. He only hit .259. He's also picked up the batting average to .295.
And for Hensley, as the 2-1 comes into Gauthier, swung on and missed at 91. He had 30 pitches through the first 2 innings, but then 26 in the third. And out of the 56 he's thrown, 32 of them for strikes, as he's going to want to keep getting that strike number up. In total, he does have 4 strikeouts to just the 1 conventional and 1 intentional walk. So 2 walks on the day thus far for Hensley, as he's got Gauthier in a full count now. We have seen plenty of those today for Hensley. Payoff pitch into the netting. It goes at 91. It's fouled off. So the Beavers with, count them, 4 runs on 4 hits in that third, and then the Unicorns in the top half of this inning with 4 consecutive hits that led to 2 runs have brought this one to a good competitive balanced game. Hensley again with another payoff pitch, outside corner. Gauthier knew it, as he'll head back to the dugout. Not happy with himself, as he's now 0 for 2 in the contest, but here comes TJ Ward, the man who started the rally in the third with that leadoff single and then came in to score the first run of the game.
And I was talking about it a little bit in his last at-bat, but TJ Ward comes into the game with 6 multi-hit games. All of them were 2-hit games, which is the best multi-hit game total on this Beavers team.
This one looks like it's going to stay in the field of play, right out in foul territory. Makes the catch with ease. 2 up and 2 down for Hensley. So we saw Salsbury cruise through 3 innings. Hensley on the opposite end of it, he had a no-hitter through 2, but threw a lot of pitches and then had a long 3rd inning, seeing the sort of opposite here in this 4th. Salsbury struggling and Hensley looking for his 3rd 1-2-3 frame, but this one with a lot less pitches if he can get Oland on a couple of pitches here, as the 87-mile-an-hour one misses away and low.
And that's usually how it goes, too. It's usually that one bad inning that really can ruin your start, and that's what it was like in that 3rd.
This one's popped up in shallow infield. You see the 3rd baseman underneath it is Campagna. He makes the catch for the 3rd and final out. A strikeout and a pair of pop-outs in the infield. Retire Birmingham Bloomfield in the 4th. They still lead it by 2. Good inning from Hensley. We head to the 5th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We are through 4 at the ballpark on this Sunday, Fun Day, Superhero Day at the office, if you will, as Josh Goulet stands in, the number 9 hitter for Utica. He's taking this one for a ride. You can forget about it. Heads up as this one hits on top of the Chevy Pavilion. First home run of the season in Goulet's debut, and he gets the Unicorns on the board here in the 5th. It's a 1-run game.
Goulet had 13 home runs this past season at Plymouth State University. So good to see him showing off the power numbers here. The Unicorns came into this game with 15 home runs as a team, but they kind of have been lacking on the power end lately. And Goulet in the 9 spot, it's quite the hitter to have in that spot.
Even more impressive, I guess, in terms of how long it took. That's the first home run Gerry Salsbury's given up all year. And that's through 34 innings pitched now, in total almost 40.
I was talking to Chris Noll before the game. He called him one of the best starting pitchers in the league, and obviously the numbers show it. But Salsbury, who was cruising through his first 3 innings of work, kind of been getting hit around past couple of innings here. Misses the breaking ball to Guzman, but you're seeing as Salsbury works a little bit more into this start and recognizes that guys are hitting against him as this one's grounded to 3rd.
Ward making the easy play, retires Guzman, 1 down.
But you can see, as I was saying, Salisbury's using that breaking ball on that first pitch just to throw off the timing of the hitters a little bit more. So we'll look for him to mix it up as he works into the latter end of his start, but trying to limit the damage and put his team in the position to win. Still up by 1.
Birmingham Bloomfield with 4 in the home half of the third, but Utica charging back with 2 in the top of the fourth and 1 in the top of the fifth. Bonnicke looks at the off-speed for a ball to start his at-bat. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and then a ground out to first as the 87-mile-an-hour fastball out to the left field area out of play. Mentioned Bonnicke, kind of an anomaly. He's got a below 200 batting average, but the contact rate at 901 coming into play today. Just unable to get the hits where you want them. As the 1-1 from Salsbury coming in on the hands, in-between hop over there to Wiley, but a good heads-up play. He charges that baseball, and if there was any hesitation on that, that ball would have ate him up, but he gets it in time. Back-to-back groundouts after the leadoff home run from Josh Goulet.
And with 2 outs in the inning, Salisbury definitely can't take this at bat for granted, especially with Jimmy Latona, the 3-hitter, coming to the plate. But if you remember last inning, Bonnicke and Latona were retired, and Dan Elliott started off that 2-out rally that turned into the 2-run inning for the Unicorns. So don't take this one for granted, as every at-bat now in this inning has been started off with an off-speed pitch.
Smart job by Salsbury, knowing the competition that you have against you. One thing that I just took note of here, Leo, the top 3 batters in the order, in total 0 for 8 on the day. A good job to at least battle against the guys who are slotted at the top of the order that are going to get more at-bats in this contest today. That's a good sign, as he's now got Latona down 0-2, who does have a 26% strikeout ratio. Unicorns at 12-7. Beavers coming into play at 8-9. Both of these teams trying to make it to the championship. Both of them have championships under their belts. Utica victorious in year 1, and then it's been Birmingham Bloomfield the last 2 years, as Chris Newell's trying to, again, have kind of a slow start to the season, build his way up, and eventually figure it all out, as that has been the script for Chris Newell here at the USPBL, doing a fine job with these players, as Salsbury on the 1-2 tries to enter the back door with the breaking pitch, but a good eye from Latona. So you got to imagine fastball here. Latona, this one, looked at 89. It misses up and away. That's a good pitch on a 2-2 to try and get him to chase something, but Latona, the veteran catcher, knows the zone more than most. A tough guy to get out, and the payoff pitch, here it comes. Fastball again upstairs. It misses at 89. First walk of the day for Gerry Salsbury. And
it comes with 2 outs. We always talk about leadoff walks and two out walks, So you definitely don't want to see that there. And it was Dan Elliott who kind of started the rally last inning with 2 outs with his double. So look out for him in this at-bat. Even though it's a lefty-on-lefty matchup, Elliott seemed to have Salisbury's number after striking out in the second. It was a good at-bat for him in that fourth.
So here comes Elliott. Mentioned he had the big double that started that rally in the fourth for the Corns. Can he get another rally going here after the walk from Latona? But a big healthy cut brings it to 0-1. Elliott, outside of his double and run scored in the fourth, swung and missed on a breaking ball back in the second inning. He'll swing and miss on the fastball here at 88. So 2 swing and misses on 2 fastballs from Salsbury to Elliott after showing a lot more curveballs in this inning. If you're Elliott, you got no idea what's coming. It's simply a more of a read and react type scenario with 2 strikes. A perfect pitch at 89, just misses outside from Salsbury. It's 1-2 on Elliott.
And that could be the disadvantage of not being a hard thrower. A pitch like that is a tough take for a left-hander, but not too hard for Elliott to take that pitch that missed just a bit outside.
This one fouled off and out of play. Over there on first, of course, is Latona. Doesn't have any stolen base tries so far this year, so got to imagine that the only time he'd be moving is on some type of hit-and-run try. Salsbury not really keeping tabs on him, but look at that. I spoke it into existence as the hit-and-run hits one into left field. It's in foul territory. TJ Ward was about to make a tremendous play, but he ends up not able to grasp it. As he was close to it, though, as Elliott stays alive for at least one more.
Ward has really made some great defensive plays already today, and in between innings, the play of the week so far was a catch by TJ Ward in foul territory. Could have been another highlight reel kind of Jose Iglesias type of play there. And now it looks like Chris Newell is going to talk to Scott Wolendowski, our infield umpire.
And I don't know if you saw this or not, Leo, but after the try from Ward, Salsbury looked a little bit shooken up. Not sure exactly what it was, maybe some type of landing spot or something, but it was a first call from Scott Wolendowski saying, come out here, take a look at your guy, and then both Gauthier and Salsbury, of course, saying, hey, we're good. But Chris Newell wanted to make sure that his guy is, in fact, all right, as looks like everything is all good. Elliott still down in this count, 1-2. See if Salsbury can get it done here. Chris Newell kind of having the opportunity to have a mound visit without using it. Let's see what he brings here to Elliott on the 1-2. Fastball a little bit low at 88. Good eye there from Elliott to not chase that one down low. He chases more stuff upstairs compared to things in the dirt. But either way, he's worked a long at-bat. Already 6 pitches in this one. Salsbury coming home with the 7th and can't hold on to it. Can Gauthier on the off-speed try. Looked like he almost had Elliott beat. As Gauthier looks like he might have had something get in his eye there. Hopefully he doesn't wear any contacts.
And we just saw Matt Dallas run out from the Birmingham Bloomfield dugout on that third base side. He's starting to get up and at least get loose with some stretching out in the bullpen. So this could be Salsbury's last inning of work, depending on how he feels. But he's going to look to attack Elliott and get the strikeout right here.
This one misses away at 89, so Salsbury just trying to get here through this 5th inning with the lead intact. Came into this 5th with 50 pitches, but he desperately needs to get Elliott out before he has to deal with Rideout with 2 men on. Runner goes. This one into center. Olin has a beat on it, takes some steps in, makes the catch for the 3rd and final out. Salsbury gets out of the jam with just the solo shot from Goulet to lead it off. We are through 4.5. We head to the home half of the 5th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the home half of the fifth. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel back with you. The day is done for Ty Hensley. He ends up going just the 4 innings. Had a great first, second, and fourth frame, but it was that third long inning where 8 batters came across for Birmingham Bloomfield. In total, the final line, 66 pitches for Hensley, 4 runs on 4 hits in the 4 innings. Just 2 walks to 5 strikeouts. One of the 2 walks was intentional, as he gives way to Don Goodson, the Detroit, Michigan native, in here with a great opportunity just down the 1 run. Your team with still 4 at-bats left. The 2-1 to Justin Wiley. Misses in the dirt. The number 9 hitter working a good hitter's count to start this home half of the 5th.
Goodson, who entered the league as a shortstop, was playing some long toss in the outfield. Some of the coaches realized that he had quite the arm, so he made the transition into the pitcher, and he has been excellent so far this season. A 1-0 record over 28 2/3 innings, a 1.88 ERA. Walks have been his main problem, as he does have 23, not high strikeout numbers either, with 16, but limiting opponents to a 158 batting average. It's all about control for Goodson. He's got Wiley in a 3-2 count here. He's going to have to make a good pitch.
Payoff pitch misses downstairs at 94. The speed is there for Goodson, but we have seen this year his Achilles heel is those walks, as it'll be the back to the top of the order in Adon Ordonez, standing in on the day, 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk, but in his 2 plate appearances in total, he's seen 13 pitches.
He's had some really good at-bats, and that's what you like to see out of your leadoff guy, especially the first at-bat when he let it off in the first inning. You want your team to see more pitchers from the starting pitcher, and Wiley just did a good job as the leadoff hitter against Goodson in the first batter that he faced to see quite a few pitches in that at-bat, at least as many as he could. So look for Ordonez to have another good at-bat here, as he already has 2 under his belt.
So Ordonez, in his 3rd plate appearance, hits this one over to the first baseman right out, who makes a tremendous play, loses his sunglasses in the process, but my goodness, what a great play there from the man who has played the hot corner a lot this year at 3rd. First base, not too cold here on this hot Sunday. He ends up making the great play to retire Ordonez. Great stop there from the man maintaining that first base bag.
And that's a tough transition to make. I'd say third base is one of the most difficult infield positions as far as just fielding the ball in general, but first base is definitely not an easy position by any standards, and it's definitely, I'd say, underrated defensively, as the first baseman, Jack Haranek, pops one up here. Looks like it's going to just be out of play.
Fan getting a lucky souvenir right there. You saw right out. He wanted more. That last play wasn't enough. He ran in all the way from the first base position. As you saw, Latona kind of unaware and unsure the second that ball was made contact with, but either way, it gets out of play. And the batter, Haranek, gets out of it. It's down 0-1 in the count.
And Haranek, who we've kind of seen as a first baseman and DH this year, is playing right field, so the Beavers have definitely shaken things up defensively, but just trying to get those power bats in the lineup with Haranek, Kelly, and Haffey can be difficult when most of them are first baseman by trade. Obviously, Kelly can play catcher and the outfield, but it's definitely good to have his versatility. But the Beavers definitely have some dangerous bats in this lineup and put up the 4th spot in the 3rd. Chance to score a run here with the runner in scoring position.
And a big-time bat in Haranek, Kelly, and Haffey. The batters in line here against Goodson, who misses the zone on the 1-2 pitch. Or on the 1-1 pitch, excuse me, it's 2-1. Wiley worked a full count, reached on the walk. Ordonez grounds out on the first try he sees. Haranek ahead here 2-1. He is the beer batter of the game, still looking for his first hit of the contest. This one misses upstairs at 92. And Goodson, it's a really weird array of numbers because
it really is.
He's got a bunch of low qualities here in terms of, his ERA, as this one will miss away. Haranek reaches on the walk for the 2nd consecutive time. Last time was via the intentional walk. But Goodson's ERA is at 1.88, but he's allowed 23 walks in 28 innings pitched. It's incredible how little of runs come in, even though he walks a lot of batters.
Now, the opponent batting average is definitely one of the best in the league, especially among starting pitchers. I mean, he's racked up a ton of innings. And also the extra base numbers, only 2 doubles in the 15 hits. Has not given up a home run, so yeah, very strange. And typically a guy with high velocity will tend to give up some home runs. Someone like Justin Verlander, who has the high strikeout rate, the high velocity, but also gives up a lot of home runs. But it is definitely strange for Goodson. You'd think maybe he'd have some more strikeouts. Maybe he'd have some more home runs against him, but it's really pretty much soft contact for the most part from Don Goodson.
Soft contact and walks as Kelly looks at ball 1 to begin this at-bat, and starting to look as if Goodson, he still has that control issue. Already the 2 walks in this inning. Kelly, first pitch he sees, that one nowhere near the zone, as this breaking ball does find it. So we'll see if he tries to go towards that direction as the innings go on. There already is an arm getting loose for Utica, and I swear I don't believe so, but is that Spencer Stockton? I think it is, and yes, it is Spencer Stockton getting loose. So we saw Hensley, now Goodson, and then if we see Stockton, this will be technically the top 3 in the rotation for Utica, as that pitch looked as if Kelly almost went through, but he holds off just in time. And it looks as if Latona was unable to squeeze that one. So Haranek over there to second. Wiley over there to third. No more force out. So you need to get Kelly here with a strikeout like your teammate Hensley did back in the 3rd inning. Already on the day 0 for 2 for Kelly. A ground out to first accompanied with that strikeout. The 2-2. Swung on and missed at 94 upstairs. Would have been another ball there thrown from Goodson, but he gets Kelly to chase, as Haffey will stand in now, a guy who has a little bit better of a awareness up at the plate compared to Kelly, at least from what we've seen thus far.
Yeah, Haffey had that bases clearing double back in the 3rd inning. It was Ty Hensley who was pitching back in that 3rd, and Hensley was 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, but Haffey sent one into the right center field gap to clear the bases. So he is 1 for 2. Drives in his 11th run now of the season, and has only played in 10 games, so he's produced quite a bit in this lineup in his short time in the league.
Good job here, though, from Goodson against a marquee batter in Haffey. He's got him down on 2 straight strikes, something that we have not seen a lot here from Goodson, but maintaining the battle well. And I mean, he's got the 2 walks in this inning, but you can get out of it with no runs. That will perfectly exemplify how he's thrown so far this year. Is Haffey on the 0-2 fouls this one off.
Yeah, it was an off-speed pitch there from Goodson. I'd like to maybe see him go back to the high fastball. It was a great pitch he threw to Kelly. He could go back to it again.
Looked to be the fastball at 94. This one misses up and in. Better eye from Haffey. That runner, or that base on first is open. As the 1-2 to Haffey. Flared over to right on the 83-mile-an-hour pitch. Staying alive, staying alive, staying alive is Haffey. Doing a good job to recognize those pitches that could really go either way. And just knocking them off to the side to get a better opportunity the next try around.
And he's putting up a tough battle. Haffey does have pretty high strikeout numbers, but does have the 3 home runs. Had the double his last time around.
That pitch looked good on the inside. Instead, home plate umpire Rob Lothian says that it just missed by a hair. That's a real good pitch from Goodson, because if you do get the swing from Haffey, not going to get good contact on it, and that's the same story right there. In on the hands again, and this one going up into the crowd as a fan gets a lucky souvenir.
And I was talking to Haffey during the media desk pregame out in front of the stadium, and I actually said early in the broadcast that it was Kelly who had hitting lessons with Chris Newell, but it was actually Haffey, who was a local kid, attended Brother Rice, and we've seen quite a few great ball players come out of Brother Rice. DJ LeMahieu of the Yankees. Nick Plummer was a first-round draft pick of the St. Louis Cardinals back a few years ago, and Haffey's definitely a guy who could work his way into affiliated ball.
Haffey won't get it done here. First strikeout of the day for him, but Goodson After 2 walks to the first 3 batters he faced, he gets 2 swing and miss strikeouts to get out of the threat. We're through 5 here at the ballpark on Sunday Fun Day. Beavers up by 1. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the 6th inning here on this Sunday Fun Day matinee contest. Donovan Smith, Colin Rideout, Joe Campagna due up for Utica to start the frame, but the day is done for Gerry Salsbury. Allows the 3 runs on the 5 hits through 5 innings of work. Allows the 1 walk, but strikes out 3 in the contest. He's, of course, in line for win number 3 if the Beavers stay out in front for the rest of this one, but still some time to decide that as Donovan Smith looks at the first pitch, a breaking ball, and that's out of the right hand of Matt Dallas, the Boise, Idaho product. As the 1-0 fouled out of play, it's 1-1.
I was talking to Chris Newell before the game and was kind of asking, Luis Contreras just got moved into affiliated ball as he was signed by the Milwaukee Brewers, and I kind of said who could be next, and he definitely said Matt Dallas could be next. A 3.38 ERA this year, 13 1/3 innings pitched. He's walked 8 batters but has struck out 20, so striking out way over 1 batter per inning. And Dallas, who kind of struggled with walks last year, but also had some pretty good strikeout numbers and a reasonable 3.59 ERA, seems to be having an even better season this year.
The 1-2 to Smith. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Smith knew it immediately, and that's the difference maker that Matt Dallas is. We've mentioned in broadcast before how the Brewers were in the attendance for one of his games so far this year. Wouldn't be shocked to note that there's probably somebody looking at him at the moment right now as he's in sort of an unfamiliar territory coming in this 6th inning. See how many innings he's given today. Maybe 2, and then maybe Collette will get 1 or 2, but still trying to play with this 1-run lead as they'll now deal with Colin Rideout, man who made that great defensive gem in the bottom of the 5th inning. Stands in now 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a fly out to center. as he sees just the 4th pitch of the day as he flew out to center on the first pitch and then singled on just the 2nd pitch of his last at-bat when he drove in Donovan as the 1-0 to right out. Inside and low at 86. Dallas with an off-speed pitch on the 1-0. Don't hate to try, but when you got a mid-90s fastball, you should go to that more often. But a good 2-0 count here for right out.
And Dallas was not used in last night's game against the Woolly Mammoths. It was Noah Reed, Hunter Keel, and Gabe Berman in relief for Kenny Ogg.
This one popped up. Who's going to take charge? TJ Ward looking like it, but now it's Gauthier. As that sun beaming right down on these players as the second out of the inning is accomplished. 2 up and 2 down. Smith right out. And now it's Campagna's turn. 1 for 2 with a single in the 4th and a reach on an error back in that 3rd inning when Salsbury missed the footing with that leadoff at-bat from Campagna back in the 3rd. Trying to keep this 6th alive for his team. Get a base runner on to threaten Dallas, who looks like he's on currently. First pitch, fastball missing. Here we go at 95. I know that Dallas at one point, I believe, hit 96 this year, but consistently with the fastball at 93, 94. It's a recipe for success as we're looking to see what he can do against Campagna here on the 1-0. Fastball at 94 this time. Campagna getting enough contact, but it goes into the netting here behind home plate. Campagna is still trying to make a name for himself early on in this USPBL career.
He just finds his way to get on base. He entered the game with just the .222 average, but a .533 on base percentage. He seems to be kind of a ball magnet as he's already been hit by a pitch 4 times this year, and his senior year at Slippery Rock, 13 hit by pitches. Good for a .486 on base percentage combined with his .366 average. So, I don't know, doesn't really seem to be crowding the plate up there, but just finds his way on base, and already on base twice. It's going to be tough to get on for a 3rd time against Dallas.
Breaking ball looked good from up here. Must have just had that much bite on it as started off right where you wanted it. But I'll tell you what, give credit there to Campagna,
Absolutely.
who somehow was able to lay off of a pitch like that in a scenario where you've got 2 guys out right in front of you back-to-back. You're trying to make something happen and not strike out via the look, but the patience is tremendous here from Campagna as Dallas now hits 96 on that 2-2 pitch. But in the end, it doesn't matter how hard you throw it if you can't throw it for a strike, as Campagna had to back out of the way of that one. Like you said, a ball magnet. Here is number 22. Trying to reach base safely for the 3rd consecutive time, but not if Matt Dallas has anything to say about it. Gets the call from Gauthier behind the dish. Let's see what he brings. Fastball at count at 95 this time. It's fouled up and out of play. As we mentioned, got those awesome jerseys there for Superhero Day at the ballpark. Got the opportunity to bid on those here as we've had that happen with the Eastside Diamond Hoppers already, as the breaking ball to the batter Campagna in the books as a perfect pitch. Second looking strikeout of the inning. Dallas starts it as he finishes it. A 1-2-3 frame here in this top of the 6th. We head to the home half. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We head to the home half of the sixth. First pitch swinging is Austin Farr. Hits this one a mile high as Campagna, the man who struck out looking to end the top half, has to make a athletic grab. So that one was moving around, but Farr in the end is retired for the third consecutive time today. This one into the mitt of Campagna for out number one.
Yeah, it kind of been a weird outing so far for Goodson, who came in and walked a couple of batters, but ended up getting a ground out and a couple of strikeouts, swinging to two of the most dangerous hitters in this order, with Justin Kelly and Ross Haffey going down swinging. But hopefully Goodson can turn this into a good outing and at least keep his team in the ballgame as they are trailing by one.
And we're hoping to see a lot more strikes than balls there for Goodson, as in the fifth inning he had 25 total pitches, but more than half of them missed the strike zone. He had 2 strikeouts and 2 walks, but in the end, no runs allowed. That's the most important bit of it, as this one over there to Donovan Smith in right field. Adam Gauthier with a textbook shot there as he takes that one into right for the one-out single. And now let's see what TJ Ward can do. 1 for 2 on the day with a single, a pop-out, and a run scored.
Now Ward is looking for another one of his 2-hit games. He's already had 6 of them this season. So 6 games with 1 hit, 6 games with 2 hits. Ward had that single back in the third, ended up coming around to score on the RBI single from Justin Wiley later in the inning.
As the first pitch, first pitch to Ward misses in the dirt. Good job there from Latona. Drop down, keep that one in his wickets. Is Gauthier over there on first base, his counterpart, the other catcher on the season so far for Gauthier. He's 2 for 2 on the base pass as Ward swings through the 1-0 pitch, the Hartford product. Him as well as Nick Campana, who gets the sit today. He's nursing a little bit of a sore shoulder. So Campana having to deal with that at the moment. We're hoping he's back real soon as the 1-1 to Ward. Ground ball, left side, could be an inning-ending double play. Look at the quickness there from Guzman, and almost a perfect scoop at first from right out. Look at the stop there from the catcher. You couldn't see it on the feed here on the YouTube channel, but Jimmy Latona, of course, as the catcher, ran all the way down with the base runner Ward and ends up keeping that ball from going into the dugout, something that you wouldn't have been able to see on the screen, but sort of that, obviously we're on a YouTube stream, it's like halfway between a TV broadcast and a radio. You kind of have to explain it a little bit of both ways, as Latona busting his tail down that line in foul territory, and he actually made sort of like a Curtis Joseph slide save to keep that one from going into the dugout. A little hockey reference there. Is back at the work is Goodson. Gets the called strike for the first pitch against Oland.
Yeah, Oland 1 for 2. He's got that single back in the third and scored on the bases clearing double from Ross Haffey later in that inning, as the Beavers put up that 4 spot, but have been blanked in back-to-back innings here.
Goodson with that mid-90s fastball ability brings it home at 92. This one skied over there in foul territory. Cole Lee Curry right at the wall in the dirt area down in the corner makes the catch for the third and final out. We have played through 6. It's a 1-run game. Real good baseball on tap here this afternoon. We head to the 7th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We are through 6 here at the ballpark. Second inning of work for Matt Dallas. He allowed nothing there in that 6th inning. Had 2 strikeouts on the ends of the inning. Got Smith and Campagna looking both with the pop out to the catcher from right out in between them. Coley Curry leading the way for Utica in this 7th. Fouls off the 1-0 try out of play. 0 for 2 so far. He's got a pop out to third and a ground out to second. As Matt Dallas with 14 pitches through the first 3 batters he faced. Pitch number 17 coming up. The kick, the push, the changeup at 86. I mean, I really hope that a scout's here because Matt Dallas is on today as you get the mid-90s fastball and then you drop in a changeup at 86 with that type of movement. And he did not really change the physicality of his delivery. And there it is again at 78 this time. That pitch you saw him take a little bit more off of it, but in the end it misses outside. Could have went either way, though. Curry fortunate of that call there.
Yeah, Matt Dallas seems like he only works with about 3 pitches, if I'm not mistaken, but you could almost call it 4 with his ability to take something off of his changeup.
That one didn't take anything off of it, and it looks like it ricocheted, of course, off of which unicorn? Ty Hensley.
Don't want to see that there, and surprising to see Curry out in front of that pitch at 95. You typically don't see someone that much out in front of a pitch unless it's off speed. So I'm not sure what Curry was looking for up there.
That one just missing on the outside part of the plate.
It was a 3-2 count for Campagna when he went down to end the 6th. See if Matt Dallas can start the 7th with a strikeout on a 3-2 count.
Payoff pitch, hard ground ball, hit in between first and second. Coley Curry getting the job done in a long at-bat. 7th pitch of the battle goes into the field of play for the leadoff single. That's exactly what the doctor ordered for Utica. You get your leadoff man on, and the guy who's got his first USPBL home run just 2 innings ago, and Josh Goulet. It's exactly what you want if you're Skip Essien.
Goulet really turned the ball around, sending one deep into left field, hit off of the Chevy Pavilion out there, right off the top of it and kind of rolled off the other side of it. But that was also Goulet's first hit in the USPBL as well, so no better way to start off your career in the hit column with the home run. And obviously, definitely a different type of pitcher with Salsbury being the left-hander that he hit it off of. And Salsbury, as we know, not with the best velocity, but Dallas definitely has a ton of velocity, so we'll see how Goulet can handle 94 there from Matt Dallas.
Some more heat there from the Idaho native. Meanwhile, Curry over there on first. He shockingly doesn't have any stolen base attempts so far this year. And there it is, right on cue. A little hit and run action on the 0-1. Fouled out of play. It's 0-2.
Yeah, and as I was taking a look at the Unicorns' overall stolen base numbers, they come in 9 for 11 this season. They have the least amount of attempts and stolen bases of any team in the league, but Skip Essien definitely does like to use that hit and run. We've seen it 2 or 3 times today. Once it was definitely unsuccessful, as it was the strike him out, throw him out, all the way back in the first inning, I believe it was, but not a lot of stolen base attempts for the Unicorns.
This one up and in at 94. Goulet having to back out of that one. Dallas making him feel a little bit uncomfortable. Works ahead 0-2 and then brings in the sweet chin music to back him off the plate a bit. I'd be shocked to see anything but a breaking ball away because we've seen him been able to paint that outside corner to righties all day, and with the help from Goth here on the frames, as you see him keeping tabs on Curry over there at first with a quick step off, but no throw.
And we saw Gauthier, just as he thought that pitch was about to be thrown, setting up low and outside. So let's see if it will be that off-speed pitch.
The 1-2. Fastball upstairs instead. Goulet can't hold back. And that's strikeout number 3 through 5 batters for Matt Dallas, looking sharp.
Yeah, really some incredible stuff. We knew that Matt Dallas had those high strikeout numbers. 13 in the third innings pitch coming in with 20 Ks, Last season he did strike out just under a batter per 9 innings, as it was 47 2/3 and 46 strikeouts. But the biggest thing for Dallas is his control has really turned around this year. He walked 37 batters last year, and so far he has only walked 8. So great strikeout to walk ratio.
First pitch to Guzman. This one hit over our heads in the press box. That fastball not being taken into play. Guzman on the day, sort of a slow effort thus far. 2 ground outs, once to second, once to third. Reached on a fielder's choice, so 3 ground balls so far for the shortstop as he's down 0-1 here to Dallas. Nobody getting loose in either bullpen at the moment, so it is Dallas versus Goodson. Here and now is the 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. Guzman can't catch up to it. He's down 0-2, and might be going right back to the fastball here against Guzman, who has been a really good contact hitter. He's batting over 300, good for 6th in the league coming into play today, tied for 3rd with 21 hits. But a guy who doesn't strike out all that often, as he's got the 6th best contact percentage in the league, the 0-2. This one, 97 there for our man Dallas. That's a personal record for him, at least in the USPBL, but man, did he bring that one back.
He's tuning it up a lot, and we're not seeing any action here in the Birmingham Bloomfield pen, so it's definitely his inning of work to finish off, and I'd like to see him for a 3rd inning, but we kind of questioned, Rich, why he came in so early as the runner takes off, throw down from Latona.
This one, a breaking ball, ends up going into center field as Coley Curry does in fact get stolen base number 1 on the season. And most importantly, for Utica's sake, he gets into scoring position, which means Guzman needs just a single for an opportunity to bring in their tying run.
And kind of back to what I was saying, we were a little bit surprised, Rich, that Dallas did come in so early in the game. We usually see him as the closer, really, for this Birmingham Bloomfield team. He has been the best relief pitcher for them, but it's also not a bad choice by Chris Newell. You go from the left-hander, doesn't throw very hard, into your hardest-throwing right-hander, and so far he's looking really sharp.
It's a great strategy there for Chris Newell, going back and forth. Got to imagine that first man up after Dallas is probably going to be Dylan Collette, in my opinion. Outside of him, I mean, you know that Hunter Keel's not going to go. He pitched recently. Kenny Ogg was the starter yesterday. Noah Reed was struggling in his first outing. You have Gabe Berman, but your go-to there's got to be Collette, the left-hander, to go from left to right to left. So you're trying your best out of Dallas to get you maybe even through the 8th if you're lucky enough.
Sure.
Stay out in front and then have Collette maybe come in and close the door as Guzman continuing to fight here in this at-bat, looking at pitch number 7 with a couple of foul balls to his credit already. Open base at first, but you're looking for out number 2 in the dirt. Great job from Gauthier, but a better job from Guzman to work the count full.
Yeah, and the Beavers used 3 relievers yesterday. It was a short start for Kenny Ogg. He went just 4 innings, only gave up the 2 earned runs, but faced quite a few batters. Ogg then turned the ball over to Noah Reed, who threw 2 scoreless innings. Hunter Keel came in and did not officially rack up an inning as he gave up 2 earned runs. Gabe Berman replaced him, giving up 3 earned runs over 3, so maybe a little bit short-staffed as far as relievers, but lefty Collette will probably make an appearance in this game.
So it looks as if Guzman is going to be retired as the second baseman, Justin Wiley, underneath it, catches the pop-out for out number 2. Huge out there for the Beavers and Matt Dallas, because you get Guzman with a base knock there or even a walk. Brings up start of the heart of the order. Bonneke not as big of a threat compared to Latona, Elliott, Smith, and Rideout, but a guy who makes contact, like I said, about 90% of the time. You make contact with a couple of base runners on, never know where it could go.
Exactly. Sometimes it's just best to put a ball in play, make the defense make the plays, but pretty clean game so far. 1 error for each team, but we have seen some really good defensive plays, but Matt Dallas going right after Kyle Bonneke here.
And rightly so. Mention he's batting well below that Mendoza line. Batting, though, from the left side. Dallas, the righty, the 0-1. This one well away at just 86. That one getting away from Dallas on the grip. You see him go down to the rosin bag right on cue.
And maybe a circle change grip for him. Obviously, Rich, you pitched a couple of years at Macomb. I don't know if you ever used the circle change, but it's definitely hard to grip a changeup.
Yeah, I had a changeup, not necessarily circle change, but either way, I feel like for that pitch, you either got it all and you can put it anywhere at any time, or it's kind of a 50-50 shot depending on the day. As this one, out of play it goes to our left. Bonneke down to his last strike, and if I'm Dallas, I'm rearing back and trying to touch 97 again, see if Bonneke can even come close to it.
Yeah, we've seen him really in that 93, 97 range. The last pitch coming in at 94. He's late on that one. Give him that fastball elevated and put a little extra on it.
Instead, the 79 drop in.
Too.
Maybe everybody, including Bonneke, was thinking fastball there. Instead, the leadoff single and stolen base from Coley Curry goes unscathed. 2 Ks and a pop out for Dallas. We head to stretch time at Jimmy John's Field. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Out of stretch time into the 7th. The bottom of it we go. It'll be the bottom and then the top due up for Birmingham Bloomfield. The newcomer, Justin Wiley, in his debut last night was 0 for 2 with a walk and a run, but today he's got a walk as well, but started off his afternoon with an RBI single in the 3rd. He's also got a run scored as a part of the 4 that came in that 3rd frame. That's been your story for Birmingham Bloomfield offensively today, as Wiley working a great batter's count to start this home half of the 7th. 3 straight that have missed the zone, and that's kind of been the issue for Don Goodson, as Spencer Stockton continuing to get loose out there in the right field bullpen, as Goodson desperately looking for a strike here in this situation, but he won't do it here. 4 straight, none of them near the zone, and a 2nd consecutive walk for Justin Wiley. Gives him his 3rd try that's reached base safely, as not sure how much longer Goodson has under his ability with all these walks he's thrown. In total, for Goodson, taking a quick look, already the 3 for him.
Yeah, he started off that 5th inning with the walk to Wiley, ended up getting the ground out to Ordonez, ended up walking Hranek, escaped the inning with a couple of strikeouts. It was a different story for him last inning, as there was just the one base runner that reached via the single. That was Adam Gauthier, but you don't want to get that leadoff walk. And Wiley, I don't believe if we have stolen base numbers on him. Actually, in college, I took a look at it last time he was on base. He only had 1 stolen base, but it was a hit-and-run try last time that he was on base, so he's got a decent amount of speed.
First pitch to Ordonez looked good, but called the ball there from our home plate umpire, Rob Lothian. Been a fun weekend at Jimmy John's Field as our 5th game in 5 days. Utica, though, with just their 2nd game of the weekend, they lost 9-5 against Westside on Wednesday as they started the weekend and ended it here at the park, as Goodson now with 6 straight that have missed the zone. And you see Chris Newell giving some signs there to Adon Ordonez. Wouldn't be surprised if it was the take sign, as the Beavers could definitely use a couple of walks, get some runners on, as that one a breaking ball, the first one we've seen from Goodson this inning. That one can't find the zone either. So the fastball's not working, and now the off-speed struggling. As you can see him wiping off his hand on his jersey and on his pant leg, trying to maybe get the sweat off, keep that grip intact, but no excuse here as we finally have some great weather here with summer turning the corner. And there it is, strike 1 of the inning at 90 miles an hour on the outside black.
And you have to figure that if he does walk him here, this could be the last batter that he faces. Got Stockton off the bench the last game of the weekend. You pretty much could use your top 3 starting pitchers all in one game, but for most of these guys, they do throw bullpen sessions on Sunday.
This one still in play. Jimmy Latona, the veteran, making the catch with ease for out number 1, and boy, what an out it was. Ordonez saw the 1 strike going into that pitch. Only strike of the inning, and instead of maybe trying to work the full count, ends up popping that one to Latona. Huge out there for Utica.
It really is, yeah. And you got Jack Hranek coming up. He walked back in the 5th. And if you remember, all the way back to the 3rd, it was an intentional walk issued to Hranek by Hensley, and Hranek ended up scoring on the bases clearing double from Haffey. And look at that. Hung up between 1st and 2nd is Wiley.
Wiley trying to juke his way out of this one as if he was in the backfield like Le'Veon Bell, but instead he's going to end up getting caught in between the base paths. So a really tough start to the 7th for Goodson. In just 2 instances, gets 2 outs, and he's still in line for a perfect 1-2-3 frame after the leadoff 4-pitch walk to Wiley. Huge blunder there on the base pass.
Now the first base coach over there for the Beavers may have seen something from Goodson as far as timing that was consistent, but Goodson had a good pause there, maybe recognizing that it could have been a hit-and-run situation for Jack Hranek. Able to step off, and good defense by the Unicorns. All good throws from the infielders, able to record out number 2.
Still trying to put it together. We had the 1. It was Goodson over there to Guzman for the 6th. Still trying to figure out who put it out, though, as the 1-0 to Hranek. That one misses as well. Coming into this 7th inning, Goodson with 35 pitches, but just 19 of them for strikes. And here in this inning, he somehow has 2 outs with just 1 strike to the 3 batters he's faced. That's incredible.
It really is. I mean, that's kind of what Goodson's done. He's able to work his way out of jams somehow, limiting that opponent batting average, and his ERA is among the tops, if not the top, among all starting pitchers in the league.
As he does throw another walk, this is now in total this 4th of the afternoon as JJ out there picking up the loose bat. As Skip Essian's going to go out there. Not sure if he's going to take out Goodson, but with another walk, wouldn't be surprised if he did so. So he is, in fact, going to go to the bullpen. The day will be done for Goodson. Stockton is going to come in to try and not allow the Beavers to do much else the rest of this game. We'll take a quick break, give you Goodson's final line, give you some info on Stockton. When we come back, 2 outs in the home half of the 7th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We re-enter this one in the home half of the 7th with 2 outs. The day's done for Don Goodson. 48 pitches through 2 1/3 innings. Pitched a comebacker to Spencer Stockton, acting like he's seen that a time or two before. Justin Kelly with the comebacker, but Stockton, before we can even mention what's going on, gets the putout with the 1-3. We are through 7 here at the park. Utica down by 1, but a good inning there with no runs allowed since the 3rd. We head to the 8th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. The Rochester, New York native leading the way for Utica in this top of the 8th on the day thus far for Jimmy Latona. That is 0 for 2 with a fly out to center, a ground out to 3rd, but reached on a full count walk back in the 5th inning. Looks at ball 1 to begin this plate appearance. It's Matt Dallas out there for his 3rd inning of work, looking to get his longest outing of the season, as he's going to have to at least get 2 outs here in this top of the 8th. The 1-0 missing in that lower outside corner. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and as Matt Dallas works into his 3rd inning here, he will do so for the first time this season. The most he has gone is 2 innings, but last year did have multiple relief appearances with 3 or 4 innings pitched, so he's no stranger to situations like this. Maybe a little bit odd for him this season, as we mentioned before. He's kind of really been used mainly in the 8 and 9 inning roles, but he's done a heck of a job since entering the game to keep the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers ahead by 1.
3-0 to Latona. He's trying to work the walk, but he definitely went around as he tried to sell that. Good effort. Love the try, but a better job there from Dallas to get back into this count, as Latona, with a big smile on his face, heading back, asking Dan Elliott if it was a good sell there, but clearly not, as that one he went around for certain as he heads back to the box.
And Dallas attended the University of Minnesota Crookston, also was a position player in junior college, and get this, he only played 1 year of high school baseball, and it was JV. So obviously we know that everyone kind of has a different journey to the USPBL, but it just kind of shows you can start playing baseball in junior college and college and still make a good career out of it. And Dallas is a guy that we know could definitely move up to some affiliated baseball later in the season.
As this one fouled off, so Latona stays alive for at least one more. Really good job from Dallas. Starts off the count 3-0 and then battles back, works the full count, forces Latona to foul one off after looking at two. Would be a huge out to get the leadoff man. Payoff pitch, taken for a ride out to left. Will he have his league-leading 5th home run? Yes, he will. Jimmy Latona muscles that one over the left field wall, and we're tied up at 4. So the Unicorns catcher coming through when needed once again with his 5th home run of this season. And that's off of a guy in Dallas who doesn't give up a lot of those. That is a tough one there for the right-hander, as it looks as if his day is going to, in fact, be done because of that, and he won't be able to get his longest outing of the season.
Yeah, he had only given up 8 hits coming into this appearance. One of them was a double, one of them was a home run, so he has definitely kept those extra base hits at a minimum, but credit to Latona. Did not miss that 3-2 pitch. And it looks like it is going to be Dylan Collette, the lefty, entering the ballgame.
With a little break in the action, normally we would go to the break, but here on this Sunday Fun Day, got the specialty jerseys for the Beavers here on Superhero Sunday. They're rocking those Superman jerseys, and I know a lot of you people listening in on these YouTube broadcasts, parents here of the players, and just want to talk a little bit about those specialty jerseys. Leo, how about you give them the info?
Yeah, it's definitely a good-looking jersey. You can see they're white, and they've got the kind of Superman-type logo. Instead of an S, it's B for Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers. You got a little cape coming off the top of it as well. But if you want to bid on these jerseys, the auctions are currently happening right now at www.32auctions.com/BB-Super. You can also find the link on the website, but once again, that's www.32auctions.com/BB-Super, and the proceeds will benefit the ALS Association Michigan chapter. 50% of the proceeds from these jerseys will go towards a great cause, and yeah, definitely take a look at the jerseys. They are available in sizes ranging from medium to extra large.
And of course, easy way to mail those out to the fans, families, whoever wants them. Do everything you can there to help a great cause and at the same time get a great jersey here on our second specialty jersey day at the ballpark. It's East Side and then Birmingham Bloomfield, and we'll also see the Mammoths and Unicorns down the road as Dylan Collette standing in as the day is all said and done there for Matt Dallas, as Collette, the left-hander, dealing up against a left-hander in Dan Elliott, 1 for 3 on the day with a double, a run scored, a strikeout, and a flyout to center. First pitch slider, called strike 1. Elliott couldn't believe it, but Collette, he's got a lot of bite on his pitches. A guy who's been a marquee arm at the back end of this bullpen for Chris Newell in his 1+ years as a returner. As you see Elliott unable to hold off on that same exact pitch, even though that one was in the dirt, nowhere near the zone. Just goes to show you the kind of stuff that Collette has out of that left hand.
Collette enters the game with the 2.12 ERA, 17 innings pitched, so he has been used the most of any reliever on this team, now making his 13th appearance of the year. Pretty incredible. 14 hits given up, 4 earned runs, just 4 walks to 9 strikeouts. The strikeout numbers are a little bit down compared to last year, where he did have 24 in 19 2/3, but he has been more effective as far as earned run average goes.
Really good try there from Gauthier on the frame job. Couldn't get the call there from Lothian at home plate. Evens the count up at 2-2 on Elliott. Can't imagine Collette would go to anything other than that slider again. Let's see what he goes with. The 2-2. And there it is, and there he goes. Elliott cannot hold back as he'll swing and miss for the second time today, but a big first out for Birmingham Bloomfield as they needed it after that leadoff home run from Latona.
And this is Dylan Collette's first appearance of the week, which is pretty shocking to say that it's coming on the last game of the week, as the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers, not counting the game that is unfinished between them and the Hoppers, have played 17 games this season, and Collette has appeared in 12 of them. So there's a pretty good case that you could make that Collette's going to be out there almost every day. But he's rested up, which is definitely a good thing in this close ball game.
Yeah, both of these teams with not a ton of action on the weekend overall, but Collette with an opportunity as he gets the 1-1 for a called strike. Perfect pitch on that fastball in the outside corner. Both of these teams, kind of how it goes, you have a couple of non-public games, but you said he's only missed a few here with Birmingham Bloomfield, and I would imagine that those are in games where Beavers are already either well out in front or well behind when he's supposed to come in, and there's no need to waste him when the game's at a giant differential. Yeah, and that's kind of how their two games went so far this week. They took the loss last night against the Mammoths 7-2, and then it was a kind of a blowout game. The Beavers did kind of fight back towards the end to at least make it a closer score against the Hoppers. They won that one 14-10, so really two games that Collette should not be used in, so you're definitely right about that, Rich. Smith on the day, 1 for 3 with a huge RBI double back in the fourth, but on the outer ends of it, a looking strikeout and a swinging strikeout. The 2-2, this one out there into left center field. It's definitely staying in the ballpark. Alec Olin, the center fielder, taking charge as he should be. Retires Donovan Smith for out number 2. Good job for Collette. He's 2 for 2 with a with a strikeout and a flyout. It'll be Colin Rideout standing in. And Rideout, as we take a look at the stats here, actually has the longest hit streak so far this season of any Unicorns player at 11. That streak, however, did come to an end pretty recently, but Rideout has definitely been one of the more productive players on this Unicorns team that has kind of lost a few guys offensively. Dan Williams moved over to the Westside Woolly Mammoths, and that's kind of been a huge loss for their offense. Without a doubt, it's been evident. Mentioned that the Unicorns, who started the year off 6-1, at one point I believe they were 12-3, somewhere around that. That's but right. They are 1-4 in their last 5 as this ball over to the right side. Love that athletic play there from Wiley. Looked easy to the normal eye, but not anything to look away from, as Rideout is retired via the 4-3 putout. We are through 7.5. To the bottom of the 8th we go. It'll be Haffey, Farr, Gauthier. Some big bats for the Beavers coming up. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you. It'll be Haffey, Farr, Gauthier, the brute of this order. 4, 5, 6 due up against Spencer Stockton. So this one hit hard back up the middle, but out there in center. Making the catch on the run is, of course, Dan Elliott. The line out good in the books on one pitch. And I don't know if we're going to be able to talk about Spencer Stockton a lot because he came in to relieve Goodson back in the 7th, got the hard ball back at him for the ground out, which was not an easy play, and then this one, right up the middle again, but to Elliott in center, 2 pitches and 2 outs. A good day thus far for Spencer Stockton, even though both hits were hard off the bat. As far looks at called strike 1.
Stockton is making his first relief appearance of the year, but he has been one of the most consistent starting pitchers in this league. 2.95 ERA. He's got a 3-2 record, 36 2/3 innings, 33 hits, 12 earned runs, has only walked 7, and has struck out 37. So a great ratio for him there, and a .231 opponent batting average against as he deals in the strike on the 1-1 count.
As Austin Farr looking to make something happen. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt, fouled it off as Latona takes off the mask. Count remains at 1-2. Who's going to be the hero in this superhero Sunday matinee contest? All knotted up at 4. Someone's going to have to be it. As Farr ready for the 1-2. Goes through on that pitch in the half-hearted swing. 2 up and 2 down for Spencer Stockton.
And both teams really have some great relief pitchers. Obviously, Stockton not the relief pitcher for the Unicorns this year, but working in relief in this situation, already looking effective, so it really doesn't seem to faze him the fact that he's not starting this game. Stockton could end up finishing it against the Beavers tonight.
First pitch to Gauthier, swung on and missed. Chases the cheddar upstairs, and at this point in time, not sure who you give the benefit of the doubt to, as you got Stockton and Collette here in this one. Not sure how much offense we're going to see, but at some point we're going to need it. Adam Gauthier takes this one for a ride out to left. At the wall is Coley Curry. Can he come up and make the catch? No, he cannot. He was that close to robbing the home run from Gauthier, but a game of inches that it is. Gauthier puts it above the wall, and the Beavers take the 5-4 lead. And when it matters most here, this home half of the 8th with 2 down and nobody on.
And Coley Curry out there in left field, absolutely shocked. I believe he actually had that ball in his glove, and all of a sudden he came down after the jump attempt, because that wall is pretty high out there in left field, the tallest wall at Jimmy John's Field. He came down, looked in his glove, and absolutely dumbfounded that the ball was not there. But Adam Gauthier, of course, gives the Beavers the 5-4 lead.
Gauthier is your hero, and something you don't talk about a lot is yourself. But prior to this half inning, Leo and I, of course, love to have our friendly banter back and forth on just how the game is being played. Of course, we're talking about it on the air, but with the baseball fanatics and broadcasters that we are, we can't keep our mouths shut. And we were talking in between the innings. I sometimes get lucky, and I'm just going to go flat out with it, ladies and gentlemen. I said before the inning had started that Stockton was going to get 2 quick outs, and then Adam Gauthier was going to be the hero and hit a home run with 2 down. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, but
right.
Either way, Coley Curry was that close to keeping my prediction out of tact, but instead Gauthier does in fact come through for me as the count evening up here at 2-2.
And earlier we were talking about the power-hitting catchers in this league, which is really a rare talent. We saw Latona, and Gauthier came into the game tied for the league lead at 4, as this one will go down in the books as a swing and miss strikeout. But Latona with the home run today, and now Gauthier, both of them with 5, but Gauthier's proving to be pivotal. Excuse me, I can't even say that word. Pivotal here.
There it is.
As they take the lead 5-4.
We're through 8. Beavers out in front, courtesy of Gauthier. Let's go to the 9th. You're watching the USPBL YouTube channel. We go to the 9th. Rich Borland, Leo Ortel with you, and what a 8th inning it was. Jimmy Latona, Adam Gauthier coming into today's action, tied for the league lead with 4 home runs, both of them in what we assume are their last at-bats of the day, end up getting solo shots. One was to tie it for Latona 4-4, and then Gauthier right back at it in the bottom of the 8th, giving his team the lead with 2 outs as Dylan Collette out there for another inning of work. He came in for Dallas after he allowed the home run to Latona and then got a strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout respectively as he gets Campagna to pop out into foul territory on the first pitch that he sees. Over there in foul territory to the first baseman, Ross Haffey, and now it's Lee Curry's turn. The lefty facing off against the lefty, Collette. Advantage right now, you got to go to Collette. As Curry on the day, 1 for 3 with a single, a ground out, and a pop out. Does have his first stolen base to his credit, though, as you see that devastating slider against lefties. It's something that none of them have had success for on this season at all against Collette. And there's a reason that he's got so many innings packed up under his belt. Got to imagine he'd go to it again until it's proven that they can lay off. Instead, he paints the outside corner with a fastball. It's just not fair.
And that could set him up for another slider, but he's gone to that slider quite a bit already. He's really got the control of it. And Birmingham Bloomfield 2 outs away now. This would be a big win for them to get back to 500.
Ground ball chopped out of play over to the right. Not only that, but the Beavers 5-1 in their last 6. They have really turned it up as of late, and now looking to go 6-1 in their last 7 as Curry trying desperately to stay alive in this battle. But if you're Collette, I'd be throwing those sliders until he lays off of 4 straight. The 0-2. Fastball instead upstairs at 89. It misses. Trying to change that eye level there for Curry. Now you got to go back downstairs with it. Force him to chase after it. For those kids listening out there, that's what you call your setup pitch on the 0-2. And here comes the finisher. Instead, paints it on the black on the outside, but it misses at 88 this time around. And so if you're Curry, you gotta expect the off speed here, right? But no, you never know. That's the beauty of Collette mixing it up here. We'll see what he decides to bring on the 2-2. And just when you thought that you had the opportunity, Curry goes down looking for out number 2 on the outside corner. He didn't believe it, but that's the kind of stuff that Dylan Collette has. And all of a sudden, the Corns down to their final out. But the good thing for him is Josh Goulet, 1 for 3 with the home run back in the 5th. And that was his first home run of the season and just his second at-bat in his USPBL debut.
And it was against the lefty, Gerry Salsbury. Last time that he came to the plate, he went down swinging against Matt Dallas, but Collette is a pretty similar type pitcher.
This one, chopped over there to T.J. Ward. Are you kidding me? A fist bump to end it. After a really great defensive play from the Beavers' third baseman, they take the final by a score of 5-4. It was the long ball that proved pivotal for this team today. It was Adam Gauthier with his league-leading 5th home run, tied with Jimmy Latona to give the Beavers their 5th run of the game in the 8th, and then Collette coming back in to close the door for the Beavers in total on the season there for Dylan Collette, his 2nd save of the year. Good job from Matt Dallas to do his due diligence through the 3 innings in relief. Just had the 1 miscue to Latona because he was pretty sharp outside of that 1 blunder. But in the end, the Beavers get their 6th win in their last 7 games, move back to 500 at 9-9, and the Unicorns losing their 5th out of 6. 2 total opposite ends of the spectrums for these 2 teams as we continue on here through another weekend at Jimmy John's Field in summer of 2019.
And really just an incredible game. It could be a big turning point for the Beavers in their season as they do move back to 500. They currently do have the division lead in the Western Division over the Westside Woolly Mammoths, but really the Birmingham Bloomfield Beavers and the Westside Woolly Mammoths look to be 2 teams that have kind of gotten out of their early season funk and have really started to turn it around, so look out for them. And as we move into the games next week, we will once again play a pretty packed schedule. We won't have a game on Wednesday, but it will be a Thursday through Sunday
Thursday through Saturday,
Thursday
actually.
through Saturday. So,
It's
actually kind of a shortened week.
It's a pretty quick weekend. We will have there's actually a Kids Day game on Wednesday at 11:05 in the morning. It's technically one of those non-public games, but we've opened it up to a bunch of YMCAs and also senior groups. They're going to be in attendance on Wednesday afternoon. We're not going to be on the broadcast for that one, but we will be back at it on Thursday. It'll be Polish American Heritage Night, presented by Polish American Federal Credit Union. Mammoths, the hot team, taking on the first-place Unicorns. Be ready for that one. And then on Friday, Unicorns and Hoppers, and then Hoppers and Beavers on Saturday. But overall, a very, very fun baseball game here on this Sunday afternoon. The Beavers taking their 9th victory of the season. Unicorns dropping their 8th loss overall. But in the end, Salsbury with a good start. He will not be in line for the victory today, but in the end, the Beavers do come up clutch late, courtesy of Adam Gauthier with his 5th home run of the year. It's been another fun weekend here at the ballpark with our 5th straight game in 5 straight days, but we'll be back on the broadcast on Thursday at 6:50. Leo and I will be back at it. For all those listening, thank you very much again here on this Superhero Sunday Fun Day with the kids. Your final score for the final time, Beavers 5, Unicorns 4. For my broadcasting partner, Leo Ortel, my name is Rich Borland. You enjoy the rest of your weekend, and you stay classy, Utica.